Let's get ready to rumble!
We know that a function is a special type of relation. Well, there's something even more special, a special type of function called a one-to-one function. This is going to come into play when we want to start working backwards, if you would.
Excuse me?
What's special about a one-to-one, first of all, is that every element in the domain is paired with a unique element in the range.
Boring.
Yeah, I know, that's just the definition of a function, but it is a function, so that's one of the parts that makes it one-to-one. The other additional part that makes it a special function is that every element in the range is paired with a unique element in the domain. So it works both ways. In other words, if we went backwards, it would be a function as well. Another way to say this is that every x is paired with only one y, and every y is paired with only one x.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
It's probably the easiest way to detect a one-to-one function is that all the x's are different and all the y's are different. And don't forget, it only takes one double to mess anything up. So,
If you don't start making more sense, we're going to have to put you in a home.
let's look at our relations again and see what's a function, what's a one-to-one function, etc. Relation A, I'm looking at the x's and I'm looking at the y's, and all the x's are different,
Oh, it didn't work.
but all the y's are not different. So what we have here is a relation. It is a function, but it's not a one-to-one function.
Very bad.
It's not that bad, it's just that it's not a one-to-one function. Okay, it doesn't work backwards. Now in B, all the x's are different and all the y's are different. So not only is it a relation, not only is it a function, but it's a one-to-one function. Every x has only one y and every y has only one x. Let's look at C. Now this looks a little different.
Whoa!
All the x's aren't even different. So this thing isn't even a function at all. So if it's not a function,
Nothing for you.
certainly it's not a one-to-one function. And remember, it only takes one repeat to screw anything up. Now, in D, it looks like all the x's are different. So we do have a function. It works in the forward direction. But if you look at the y's, the y's are not all different. In fact, they're all the same. So while we do have a function here, we do not have a one-to-one function. Getting the idea? Now,
Prepare to be astonished.
just as we can test that a relation is a function graphically, we can also test that a relation is a one-to-one function graphically. We'll have to do two tests, though. First, we'll have to test that no x is paired with more than one y using the vertical line test. That proves that it's a function. Looks like we have it here. But then
Ay, caramba.
we have to test that no y is paired with more than one x. And we can do that visually using the horizontal line test. We'll move a horizontal line from bottom to top and see if it hits in two places anywhere, which it doesn't. And in this case, passing two tests gives you the one-to-one function.
Do that again.
Okay, let's look at this function. First, the vertical line test. It is a function. And now, the horizontal line test. We have a problem. So what do we have here? Well, we have a function, it's just not a one-to-one function. Okay, now practice makes perfect.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
We'll do both tests on this relation. First, the vertical line test to see if it's a function.
You look marvelous.
We're looking good. And now, the horizontal line test to see if in fact not only is it a function, but it's a special type of function called a one-to-one function.
Hey, this is great, man.
And it worked. So we have a one-to-one function. It works both ways, if you would. How about this function? We remember that it is a function because it passes.
Wow, your story is very compelling.
It passes the vertical line test. But that doesn't mean that it's definitely a one-to-one function.
Wait a minute.
We have to pass the horizontal line test for that as well. And look, we've got a big problem here. So basically, this one's a function. It's just not a one-to-one function. It won't work backwards, if you would, or it won't be a function if we go backwards.
Oh, very bad. Definitely unacceptable. Yeah.
Do you recognize this relation? It's a parabola. A quadratic parabola. It passes the vertical line test. So it is a function. It's a quadratic function. Is it a one-to-one function? Well, let's try the horizontal line test. As you can see, it's not a one-to-one function.
I'm back, baby!
How about the sine function? Of course, we call it the sine function because it is a function. We know that.
I know that, dude.
However,
There's something I have to ask you.
is the sine function one-to-one? It really isn't one-to-one. It's cyclical. We actually have a word for that. It keeps coming back, so it's definitely not a one-to-one function.
Hey, man, check it out, huh?
The cubic function, or at least this cubic function, remember that? In this case, it looks like we have a function. It also looks like we have a one-to-one function. Okay, why don't you go practice this, and please practice right away. Go do your homework.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Get to it.